Hi friends, have you ever been in a meeting and all you can do is look at the clock and think, when will this meeting be over? Or maybe you're fantasizing about lunch. I know I have. So let's talk about how to make meetings more exciting, more engaging, maybe even fun while keeping them productive and a good use of your time. Hi, I'm Neeraj Mathrani, and I have 15 plus years of experience in program management, engineering, and leadership, and have run a vast amount of meetings over those years. These tips should be useful for you, whether you are a meeting organizer or an attendee. So let's jump into my 5 tips of having highly effective meetings. Tip number 1, have a clear purpose. What are we trying to accomplish, and why is that important? With that purpose, take a step back and think, is this meeting even necessary? Could this be a collaborative document or an email? What is the cost of this meeting, and is the ROI even worth it? You can determine the cost by using a free online meeting cost calculator, or take the average hourly wage, multiply that by the number of attendees, multiply that by the duration of the meeting to determine the cost, and then determine the ROI. Once you deem the meeting is necessary, put the purpose and the agenda into the meeting description of the calendar invite. This will greatly help internal processors. Internal processors are those who like to think and process before they speak, so it will help them prep before coming to the meeting. As a side note, external processors are those who can think and process at the same time, so they don't really need as much prep time. Tip number 2, shortlist attendees. Is everyone on that list really required? Can some of these people be optional? Give the opportunity to your attendees to self-opt out. We can do this by putting the purpose in the meeting description. This way, attendees can even select alternate attendees if they can't make it, or if they think they're not the right people to attend. Also think if we are excluding anyone unintentionally. So for example, is leadership making key decisions without any team members present? Or is the engineering team making product decisions without marketing or finance present? We want to make sure we're including any key partners in the decision-making process. Tip number 3, be punctual. Start and end on time. Let's make sure we start on time out of respect for all those people who did make it there on time. For those that didn't, if it's possible, try to do a very quick recap, but ideally we catch them up after the meeting so that over time the culture becomes that we are starting meetings on time and everyone is present. Also, let's be sure we end on time for the same reason of respecting other people's time. Ideally, we are ending 5 minutes ahead of time so that we can give people time to grab some food or go for a bio break or give them a chance to walk to their next meeting room. Tip number 4, make it safe and inclusive. In order to achieve the best results in the meeting, we want to have the best ideas surface to the table. The best ideas will only surface when people feel safe enough to speak up. We can make it safe by setting the tone right at the beginning of the meeting or setting some ground rules. An example could be, we're going to respect everyone's opinions. We value diverse opinions. We're not going to speak over anyone. We're going to give everyone space to speak up if they have something to say. This will ensure that over time the culture becomes safe as well, and people speak up with their great ideas, and the ideas were based on their merit and not based on who said it. Quick note, I guess this could be tip 4.1. Let's make sure that we are not asking specific individuals to speak up if they may not have during the meeting. This can come off as actually picking on people, even though the intention could be you want to hear from them, but they may not have anything to say. Tip number 5, record key decisions and action items. This will make it easy to reference after, especially if sent in a follow-up email. For action items, let's include who will do what and by when. This way we'll have clear ownership and accountability. Now we won't be thinking, what did we actually talk about in that meeting? So in summary, here are my 5 tips for highly effective meetings. Tip number 1, have a clear purpose. What are we trying to accomplish and why is that important? Tip number 2, shortlist your attendees. Who are required and who can be optional, and give your attendees an opportunity to self-opt out. Tip number 3, be punctual. Start on time and ideally end a little bit ahead of time. Tip number 4, make it safe and inclusive. When we do that, the best ideas will surface to the table and everyone will feel and, more importantly, be heard. Tip number 5, record your key decisions and action items and send them in an email afterwards. I'd love to hear from you. What has helped you in the past? Add any tips you may have in the comment section below, and it may help others watching the channel as well. Until next time, take care, thank you for your time, and I hope this was helpful.